You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Threlkeld versus Threlkeld.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone.
Good day, Your Honor.
Mr. Threlkeld, you have entered this courtroom with a marriage on the brink of divorce. You state that while you were out of the country serving in the military, your wife paraded around town with other men, and she has admitted to cheating multiple times. You claim you are not sure if you are the father of her third child, 18-month-old Liliana, and have asked the court for a paternity test.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Threlkeld, you say you began exotic dancing to make extra money.
Yes,
because Mr. Threlkeld's military salary was inadequate to live on, and that led to a few indiscretions. You argue that Mr. Threlkeld treats your daughter, Liliana, differently than your other children, and are hoping today's DNA results will settle the matter once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Threlkeld, when did you first discover that your wife had been unfaithful?
Actually, ma'am, I was overseas in Afghanistan, and I was at up in the Northeast, and a soldier of mine came up to me and tapped me on the boot and said, "Hey, I need to go outside. We need to talk right now." So earlier on in the day, me and him got into some words, so I thought we were going to, settle it. Well, it turns out his wife and my wife were friends, and she had found out that she was actually stripping as we spoke. And at the time, I found out about it. I thought, it was all just a hoax. So I went, calmly to the internet lounge, got on Facebook and asked her, "Hey, is it true you're doing what I told you I didn't want you doing at all?" And she didn't really say anything, honestly. And right after I left there, our base actually got attacked. And they actually turned off the internet for 3 weeks. So I was in the dark for 3 weeks. And then another 2 weeks after those 3 weeks went by, I got transferred to Bagram. And while I was at Bagram, I finally was able to get back online. And I get on Facebook, and there's some clown on there saying, liking all her skimpy photos.
Skimpy photos.
Was following her. He liked that she was started working at the club. So then I started doing a little bit of research, wondering, who this guy is. So I went to the phones, and I called her and I said, "Hey, I know you're stripping. I could somewhat deal with. Tell me about this guy that's going on." And she says, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just a friend, et cetera." The same BS that every girl says.
First of all, we were done. He hacked my Facebook. He invaded my privacy, and he looked into my stuff, into my messages.
So
that's how we found out.
What did he find?
There were messages, yes, but...
Actually, ma'am, see, she's gonna... No. That's already a lie. I got on there, and on the inbox, I see, "Oh, baby, I can't wait to see you later on tonight. I had a great time with you. I can't wait to see, the last few days we've spent together has been amazing."
These are the messages you're seeing that your wife is entertaining while you're serving your country.
Yes, ma'am. She didn't even have the courage or the decency to tell me. No, your friend's husband told me that she was doing what she's doing because she didn't have the decency to say, "Hey, I'm doing what I want to do."
Ms. Threlkeld, what? Your husband's overseas, serving his country, serving our country, keeping us all safe. What in the world led you to entertain these type of messages on your Facebook, and you've admitted that you had a few indiscretions? What is going on?
First of all, we were done. We were not together. We had a phone conversation, and he had said, "We're going to get a divorce, and I'll send you the divorce papers." And then we hung up. And let me finish.
What had happened was, when I was at Fenty, we got in a phone argument, like she said, on Skype. And I told her, "Look, if you're going to strip after me and you, I've already gone through the discussion that you're not to do it until I get back, and we'll talk about it then." She says...
There was reasons why I needed to.
Yeah, see, she says she needed the funds to support her family. Overseas, I was making $4,000 to $5,000 tax-free a month. Living in a $400
It wasn't even that much.
Room.
Okay, Your Honor, there are expenses when you have kids. The money that was coming in, let's just be real, it wasn't enough to support the kids. And on top of that...
Wasn't enough to support the kids how? Because I'm going to keep it real, $5 grand a month,
I had to
tax-free.
have it mainly...
This is what I'm trying to understand. Ms. Threlkeld, you say you guys were done.
Yes,
so in other words, these things that he's finding on your Facebook and these indiscretions you're telling him about, this really shouldn't be an issue, because in your mind, you thought your marriage was over.
Messed up as it may be.
Yes.
Because you all had an argument about you stripping and you hung up.
Yes, Your Honor. We hung up and we said it was done because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Ma'am.
Let me explain.
Okay,
Let
now
me
we're getting
explain.
to the truth.
Okay.
You wanted to do what you wanted to do.
Exactly.
And why is it that you wanted to
Because
strip?
we got married too young. Well, I needed to
She
because
wanted to be a hooker
no.
in training,
Will
so
you
she'd
just
start
let
stripping?
me talk?
Well, no.
No. See,
The
this is
reason
what I
why
have
I'm
to deal
asking
with.
is because I really want to
He's
know
always calling me.
Well,
why
I
you
mean-
chose stripping. I mean, because you could have just said, I want to go get an extra job at the mall.
Okay.
I want to
I
be
had
in
chose-
Ma'am, since
Your
08,
Honor,
since
I
we've been
had to
together, since
choose-
2008, she hasn't started working until actually about 3 weeks ago. It was
That
her
is
actually
a job, by
first-time
the
job.
way.
Hooking or stripping?
It's not hooking.
You're selling your body for money. Hooker.
No, it's not.
Anyways.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Anyways, to make matters worse, ma'am, when I actually went out, the day I was supposed to come back home from overseas, we were told before we even got on the plane at Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, that there's going to be the color guard, the motorcycles that drive, in front. The news was going to be there. I get there, and not my father, my mother, my wife, so like I said, we'll quote that, weren't even there. We get there, they call everybody's names up, everybody's clapping and cheering. They come to my name, and it's just dead quiet. No one was there. So as everybody's getting ready to go home, I'm sitting there with my bags, and I didn't even have a phone yet, so I couldn't even call her. So I'm sitting there under a streetlight with my army bag on one side and a suitcase on the other.
No, I was waiting in the car for 30
Negative,
minutes.
Your Honor.
He
Actually-
never showed up.
Wait. You waited in the car, so when they called his name, he says no one was there to clap or cheer. Did you hear them call his name?
We weren't at the airport. I was waiting across from his unit where he told me to wait. And I sat there for 30 minutes waiting.
Actually, ma'am, 2 weeks before we came back from overseas, my unit actually sent papers to all the family members back home, giving the exact address and time and who would be there at the time. So it's not like somebody didn't know, or she didn't know where it was at and when it was going to be there. Hell, it was on Channel 5, Channel 8, Channel 7, Channel 14, and 11.
Did she eventually pick you up?
Actually, when she picked me up,
Yes, I did.
she came dressed in her clear hooker shoes and this.
Hooker shoes.
That's one whole outfit?
I think that's a dress is what they call it. I don't know.
Yes.
She's in clear shoes with money still in them. And the
Okay,
dress.
that was for decoration.
So you come home, Mr. Threlkeld, and your wife and your family aren't there. But she eventually does pick you up. So you were there at
Yes,
some
Your Honor.
point to get him.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.